Sukwigaro on, and hello to the rest of you lovely internet people. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Gang Ho Gans, Mandalorian war machine, spice enthusiast, and apparently a raging alcoholic according to some Darmanda halfwits who can't even land a rail shot. Anyway, in today's SWTOR video, I'm going to show you how to play the Mercenary Bodyguard, or if you're boring, the Healer. Those are air quotes, by the way. Now, I've been playing this game for over 13 years. I've healed more high-level raids than I've had hot meals, and all of them on my Merc. This is hands down my favorite healer in this game, and today, I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know. Buckle up, Mandos. Let's save some lives, but let's make you look cool too. Looking for like-minded lunatics to play SWTOR with? Then why not join the Mando community? We're on the Starforge server, and we've been around since the Star Wars Galaxy days, back when blasters overheated and the cantina was the real endgame. We run everything: PvE, operation, dungeons, weekly world bosses, PvP, duels, bounties, you name it. If it explodes, we're probably already there. So if you want a crew that actually plays and isn't just standing around on fleet quoting Revan, then join Mando. Discord is in the bio. Strap in, is going to get loud. All right, guys, thank you guys again for being here. Let's get started. Let's go into my character sheet. And as you guys can see, I have a lot of stuff in my inventory. Do not make fun of me. I actually play a lot of different builds on this same character. And I use loadouts. I definitely suggest you guys do the same. Let me just make sure that I'm in my medic one, and then we will go from there. Let's go over the best in slot items. And again, this is a reason for each of these, and I'll walk you guys through it. I won't go too much into detail, but I'll tell you why you use it. Starting off with the tactical. The SC4 tactical is best in slot. There's a few other options, but honestly, this is by far the best one. Don't use anything else. The 5%, healing is okay, but what really you want is a 4-stack or supercharged gas. This thing is a monster. There's nothing better than this, okay? For your implants, the advanced scanning package is the healing one. It is a must. And then over here for the concentrated fire package, it is the best one as well, in my opinion, because activating supercharged gas again gets you that, you crit on your next emergency scan, which is really what you want here. Now, I know you're going to be saying, oh, why aren't these, leveled or etc. And some of my gear you'll notice is 340. You don't need it. It's, again, this game is based on stats. Like, look at my stats, guys. My stats are perfect. There's really nothing more that I need. I've healed Nim pretty easily. This is all you really need, okay? Speaking of stats, let's kind of go over that, really quick. If you are just starting this game and you want to, maybe you don't have all the armor that I have, this is what you should be aiming for. You should be aiming for at least 2,800 alacrity, everything else into crit, or at least like 2,200 or 2,400. You want to get that alacrity at least to 1.4 GCD, just so you can get procced and your moves will come back faster. Everything else into critical as you are leveling up. It is important that you get your critical over 4,000. All right, let's talk about the combat style now for the medic. As you see the bodyguard right here, and we'll start from the bottom. The one that I choose is integrated scanning. The other two aren't that good in my opinion. They increase a crit chance, and healing scan, we already have a lot of crit. That's just useless. And then the residual gobbles, again, I've tried them. I get the best results with integrated scanning because this buff stays on you forever. The 15 seconds that, every time you activate your healing scan, which we will activate it all the time, every 10 seconds or so, this buff should be on you at all times. It increases all of your healing by 5%. This is huge. Okay, for 27, again, the only choice is a power barrier. These two are pretty bad. I mean, I guess if you're in PvP and your team asks you, you can, I guess, do the hunter killer droid, but honestly, the power barrier so you can survive is just a lot better. Going to 39, this is kind of the big chance that you guys can play differently here. The best in slot and the lazy one, in my opinion, is efficient shells. With this, you will get 35 to 36 to 37,000 HPS per second, or healing per second, if you will. Again, I'll show you how to do that, but this is how I play because, again, I am also lazy and I don't want to break my fingers. There is a cheat here that you can use if you are one of those people that likes to drink a lot of sugar, and that is called splashing shells. If you put this on, and again, it's going to burn your heat, it's like you will be in heat trouble all the goddamn time. However, With that said, if you have this on, when you put this on your healer, especially if there's a lot of melee, whenever one of these, gets ticked off and it heals everybody, kind of splashes on the floor, and it creates like an AoE puddle healing. Again, every little helps, but it will heal all the melees together. The bad part is you're gonna have to keep putting your shield back on the tank, etc. So it's gonna burn through your heat. While efficient shells, again, is more my speed. When you put this on your tank, and again, I'll talk to you guys about this a little bit later, what you should be doing and what the rule here is. But when you put this on, they have 7 charges. Like here, I'll just do it on myself really quick so you can see how it looks. So as you see, you have 7 charges. With this, you have 25% chance that when it's triggered, that it's not going to lose its charge. That means that every 4, you're going to keep 1, and then these last for 3 minutes. So I find that maybe I have to redo the tank's shells maybe once a fight, maybe twice tops. So this is why I suggest efficient shells. On 43, again, I personally like power overrides because when you pop this, which is right here, you can use your healing scan back to back, or you can use your rapid scan back to back because it takes away from your cooldown. So you can just, you can just go, it's automatic, 2 heals back to back. Again, if you don't need that, that's okay. You can get a supercharged clarity. It is a 5-minute cooldown, just FYI, and it does convert 10 stacks. This is why I personally like the power overrides. Going over to 51, and again, it just depends on how you like to play. I like to kind of get in there and help out, so I have improved vents, but honestly, energy rebounder is just as good, if not better. Up to you. 64. Now, this is going to be controversial, but I don't think it should be. I think mobile protection is the best. It pretty much makes you your 1 AoE heal. It makes it where if you pop it, you can use it on the run. Especially with this tactical that we have on right now, this is going to make it even better. However, you can use in PvP, for example, Kolto's Surge, and again, this is going to help you defensively. Again, the reason why I take the mobile one is I don't like to stay still when I'm healing or doing DPS. I am not a turret. I am always running and gunning or running and healing. This is why you should take these. And again, like before, these 2 don't change. They're just the best to give you, a lot of defense as a tank and healer, I should say. All right, now let's talk about the rotation and if there is a rotation and all the rules that comes with playing Merc Healer, that is. Everything that you need to watch out for. Number 1 thing that you should know, or the number 1 rule, again, like any other mercenary class or advanced class, heat is the number 1 thing here. Remember, all the way on the bottom, do you see where it says 5 heat per second? That means because we are in fast heat disposition mode. That is 0 to 35. FYI, if your heat is between 0 and 35, you will be, as they call fast heat disposition. It will take away 5 heat every second. Medium will take 3, heat per second. And then when you get to, slow as hell, which is, I believe, 70 or 80 plus, it will take 1 heat and you're not going to be able to do anything apart from just like your basic Kolto shot. And trust me, folks, you don't want to be there. So again, watch your heat. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But again, like every bounty hunting class, heat is your number 1 enemy and also your number 1 friend. The next thing I want to talk about is your shells. And again, we talked about a little bit here for your efficient shells. So again, this is one that I use. So let's talk about how this actually works here and what the rules are. The rules are, before the fight starts, you want to apply these 7 to every single person in your group. Again, 8 people, whatever it is, you're doing, etc. Go from there. Now, if you are in a party finder group or whatever, and you have 2 mercs or a bounty hunter merc and like a commando, that means that your shells are not going to stack. So what I suggest is you take 4, they take 4, and you go from there. It's very important that you put 7 on everybody that you can. The Kolto shells are 25% of your healing. Keep that in mind. The total amount, you will find if you run the numbers, 25% is from your shells. When to reapply it. Okay, so the way that this works is when you first apply it to every single member of your party, do not worry about the DPS anymore. You can if you have some, free time, and if you notice yourself not doing anything, sure, you can reapply the shells on them. But what you should really be focused on is the tank. Once you apply these to the tanks, you want to watch their Kolto shells. You want to make sure that they have at least 2 or 3 shells on them at all times. If you see that they are at 2 shells or 3 shells, quickly click on them and then reapply those shells ASAP. It's very important that you do that, guys. All right, let's quickly go over all the moves that we have on the toolkit for the Bodyguard Body Hunter, and then I'll show you the tips and the rotation and all that good stuff. Let's click Torian, just so this kind of looks a little bit better. You guys can see how it actually goes. Starting off with number 1 is my Kolto shot. This is kind of like your spammable ability. It costs no heat, is the most important thing to understand here. No heat. But it will give you 1 supercharged gas every time that you use it. So again, you can use it without worrying that you're messing up. Okay. Your next ability that is your rapid scan. It does cost heat, but it gives you 2 supercharged gases, just like so. On top of that, it will give you critical efficiency, meaning your healing scan, which is again back here, will cost less heat. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Your next 2 abilities kind of work in tandem. Emergency scan is a 15-16 second cooldown move, meaning you can use it. It's a 16-second cooldown afterwards. It is a pretty substantial heal, by the way. It's high heal. With that said, though, again, the cooldown makes it really bad, but again, it's the reason there's other things that it actually helps. Maybe bad is not the right word to use here. It's just that I prefer if it was less. But again, really, really good heal. What it does, though, is when you use this, it will power up your healing scan. Your healing scan, which is, again, your number 1 healing ability on your Merc, is the one that heals the most. And you're going to keep spamming once you go through a certain rotation here. However, it is a activation, meaning it's a channel effect. So whenever you use it, it's a channel and is trying to channel as you go through it. What emergency scan does is when you pop it, it gives you 1 free healing scan, meaning no activation or no channel. It's fully automatic, just like so. And as you see, you don't have to channel any of that stuff. Your next ability is your Kolto Missile, and it's your big AoE heal. Again, you can either do it with your mouse like this and drop it where you want, or if you have your tank selected, if you just hit it twice, it'll drop it on their feet, and it'll pretty much heal. It's a pretty big area. It will heal everybody in that little zone area. It doesn't heal for like crazy amount, but every little helps, and you can use this every 5-6 seconds or so, just like this. And just be careful. It does cost 15 heat. Your next ability is your progressive scan. Remember, it's based on the tactical that we're using, and because of the thing that we chose in our ability tree, makes it where we can use this on the go, and it will give us 4 supercharged gases, and it will heal pretty good as well. Those are all the moves that you have on your Merc for healing, etc. The only other one that you need to know is Cure, which is your cleanse, and I'll actually show you that here in a second, how that works, and a little trick with it. However, let's go talk about how they put these moves together. So again, really quick, going to Kolto shot, 1 supercharged charge here, or for supercharged gas. Like all the other bounty hunter classes, your supercharged Kolto gas is the most important thing. It's how you actually play. The whole method is to try to get there ASAP, because when you pop this, you heal better, you heal more, etc. So the goal is to always get to supercharged gas and use it and all that good stuff, right? So again, let's take this off. 1 for 1. Kolto shot, no heat, will give you 1, as you see right here, supercharged gas. Your rapid scan, like before, will give you 2, equaling 3. Now, here's a little trick people don't tell you about. If you do this, and again, it's a really easy way to build up your charges. If you do rapid scan, and then as it's casting, you are spamming your Kolto shot, it will give you 3, and again, 3 charges, and you won't even see it. And this is how it works. Again, you click it, and as it's casting, you're going to spam Kolto shot and watch what happens. So again, rapid scan, and you're spamming it, boom, 3. You don't even see it, right? And it gave you 3 charges just like that, and you can easily build up 10 just by doing so. This is a little trick that a lot of people don't talk about, but again, I find that I've been using this for I don't even know how many years now. It is super awesome, and I don't know if it's meant to be this way, but it definitely, as you see, it's easy to build your supercharged gases just by doing so. And again, you don't even see it pop out when you hit that. So just like that, you can build up your charges with these two. Practice that. That's going to be kind of like the one rotation that you always want to do, because you always want to be on the supercharged gas and have it available. The next two abilities is, again, emergency scan and healing scan. You never, ever, and I repeat, ever, never want to use emergency scan and or healing scan outside of the supercharged Colto gas. Don't ever do that. It's a waste. When you pop this, okay, when you pop this for those 8 seconds or so, these two moves are going to heal like 30-40% more. That's why you don't want to waste them and use them somewhere else. Here's a rotation that I would suggest you guys practice on. This is what you can use in all the story modes, and you will make this super, super easy, and you're going to get like 30 to 35,000 healing per second. They're going to say that you're the best healer they've ever seen. You can use this in story mode, and again, in some hard mode and NIMS, again, if the team is really good, but you really shouldn't use this rotation in anything other than practice. You need to understand what you're doing first before you go through this. In story mode, not a problem, and it's a really good, easy way to train with this. So the first thing you want to do, as always, is recharge reload before any fight. You want to get 10 stacks. You want to start off with 10 stacks of supercharged, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to put your Colto shells on everybody, especially the tank. And then you want to target that tank, okay? So here's the rotation. Here's what we're going to do. And I'm actually going to show you this in practice so you can see that you can do this all the time, okay? First thing we're going to do as soon as the tank starts and he takes a little hit, you're going to do is supercharge gas into emergency scan, into healing scan, into healing scan, into healing scan. 1, 2, 3 healing scans. One of them will be free because of supercharge or the emergency scan. 2 healing scans, you are going to have to use the cast, and that's okay. The very last healing scan, so the third one, as soon as it's casting, you're going to start spamming Colto shot. You're going to want to get a Colto shot into him. The reason for that is the timing and the heat. This is going to help your heat, and it is going to help when you come back to this rotation afterwards, okay? So one more time, emergency scan, 3 healing scans into a Colto shot. As soon as that Colto shot is off, you're going to hit your Colto missile at the tank, followed up by progressive scan, and you're going to let it go for the 4 stacks. As soon as it's done moving and you have your 5 stacks, you should have 5 stacks now of your gas. You're going to use that trick twice with rapid scan Colto shot, rapid scan Colto shot. This will give you 10, again, supercharged gases. You pop it again, and then you do the same rotation over and over and over again. Let me show you how that works. And again, I'll click so you guys can see how that works. And then afterwards, I'll actually press buttons to make it even faster. So again, here we go. So gas, emergency scan, 1 healing scan, 2 healing scans, 3 healing scan into a Colto shot, into a missile, into a progressive scan. And again, you can run. And then into 1, 2, and then 1 more, and 2. Just like that, and then we can do it again, just like so. 1 more, and then into a Colto shot, into a Colto missile, and into a progressive scan, and let it go all the way, and then into rapid scan, and so forth, and so forth. And you can use this all the time. So again, I'll stop right after that. As you see, you can continuously use this, and you shouldn't, let me rephrase that. You shouldn't get into any trouble with heat, and everybody will be healed, and depending on like where you click and all that good stuff, where what your tank is wearing, etc. You can just use this rotation on story modes, and you'll get, like I said, 30 to 35,000 healing per second. You'll heal everybody because it combines single target healing and AO healing together, and you can kind of see how the class plays as you train. Okay, now when you are playing something a little harder, for example, hard mode or NIM, then I really wouldn't recommend that. I would say you need to kind of look what you're doing and kind of keep your gas alive. So the main priority that I do, by the way, when I'm in NIM or hard mode rating, is I want to make sure that I have my supercharged gas available whenever I need it. Okay. What I mean by that is, as you're healing, you're going through a rotation. Let's say, for example, your tank now is in trouble. Okay, and I am hitting my Colto shot at the tank, just like spamming it, pretty much, right? As soon as I see that tank is in trouble, I will do that rotation. Emergency scan, healing scan, only 2, followed by a Colto shot. I'll throw the missile, and then I will get my progressive scan up ASAP. And then I will quickly, as fast as I can, get that gas available. I won't use it, but I'll have it available. And then I'll just run around just like so. Oh, his shells dropped. I'm going to apply the shells back. And I'm just kind of like pressing buttons right now, or that Colto shot. And I'm hitting Colto missile at the rest of my team. And I'm waiting for somebody to be in trouble, 70% health or less. As soon as somebody's in trouble, you pop it again. You hit them 1, 2, move on, and then heal them up. And again, we're going to go quickly. You get 5, you quickly get your gas back, just like so. And then it's the waiting game, right? And again, it can be a DPS that's in trouble. It can be a tank, etc. You just want to you want to make sure that you have the gas available when you need it. So if you're going to use it, make sure that you get it back ASAP. All right. Next thing that I want to talk about. There's a couple more abilities here that are important. The other one being is Power Surge. Okay, Power Surge is very important because let's say your tank gets in trouble. He doesn't, he misuses his cooldown or defensive cooldown. He gets hit just really hard and he's about to go down. However, maybe you have your gas up or you don't, it doesn't matter. You can use Power Surge to help you. If you don't have your gas up and you don't think your tank is going to survive, 3-4 seconds is going to take you to build it up. You can pop Power Surge and pop 2 rapid scans at him just to give him that extra ability to survive. It will give you 4 again of those gases. Personally, if you follow my rule, you should always have a supercharged gas available. So if the tank is about to get hit, and again, you have your gas available just like so. What I do right after that is I do gas, emergency scan, healing scan, Power Surge, and I'll do 2 back to back, just like so. And that man just got healed back to full health just by doing this right there. And he's again quickly drop a Colto missile and then get back to your, the stuff that you need with the and then you can do it again. So every 30 seconds, or was it 38 seconds, you can do this. If somebody's in trouble, take a really big hit, your Power Surge is going to get you your next 2 free healing scans free of charge. So again, it's your free castable. So you get 1 again from emergency scan and 2 from Power Surge. It can take him literally from 0 health to full health. So always kind of keep that in mind. This is to make sure that, if something happens, you have a backup. The other one that I want to talk about is Cure. Cure is very important. And if you are a healer and you don't use Cure, you are failing and throwing. I'm going to pop a video in and I'm actually going to show you how this works and how I set up my UI for it. All right, so I asked my friend Lex to join me in a group and we made an ops just so I can show you how this works. Do you kind of see how it looks a little bit better? So just for my healer, it has those big red numbers and there's a little bit more to it, I promise. Let me show you how to make this and I'll actually show you why this is amazing. And again, you can make it bigger, smaller, depending on how you want to play this. But these are the how you want to make this, and I recommend this for a healer. That debuff I have at 02. Again, feel free to copy this and pause the video. But that debuff, keep that in mind. I only have it at 02 because I'm used to it. But I recommend when you first start to put it to 1 or 2. And I'll actually show you how this looks in play. Now, as you see, this makes it easier to control when you're healing. It's easier to see who's in trouble. On top of that, it will only have debuffs that are cleansable will actually appear on their name. Let me show you what that actually looks like. And again, I definitely recommend you guys do this. And again, feel free to go through it and kind of copy what I have. All right, here we go. So again, we just ran up here and you can't really see it because it's too small, but I can see the debuff that can be cleansed. Let me put it up a little bit so you can see it a little bit more. What am I doing here? Come on, interface editor. I didn't want him to die in this tutorial. Let me change this to a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see the debuff. So this makes it, when you're a new healer, this makes it easier to see what abilities are cleansable. And as you see right there, you see it, you can pop the cleanse and it'll go away. Let's wait for another one. Now, as you see, when you're fighting and you're healing, you don't have to kind of worry about, hey, oh my God, what to cleanse. If it's cleansable, it will actually appear on here and you can easily click on it and cleanse it away just like so, making it where you can do this job a lot easier. All right, now we're back on the ship. There's two more things that I want to talk about, okay? One is biochem is a must. If you're going to be a serious healer in PvE, and I'm talking like nightmare raiding, veteran mode raiding, etc., your biochem is freaking amazing, guys. Again, as you see, I have biochem. I've had biochem since day one. You not only get a free heal for yourself with a map pack, reusable. Again, these are reusable. You don't have to make them again. You get a free adrenal. Again, for DPS as well, if you're going to be a DPS, but also for a healer. The Crypax Triage adrenal is 3-minute cooldown, but when you pop this, it will give you so much attack and tech power that your healing is going to go up by at least 15-20%. Pretty much making the Death Star, survive at least for 15 seconds. I definitely recommend this, guys. So if you are planning to get serious about healing, invest and go level up your biochem and get you a triage. Again, you also get the stim and all that good stuff for your other classes. The other thing that I want to talk about, and this is, again, if you are a new healer and maybe you don't have a lot of gear, I actually got to go get it because I don't have to use it anymore, but this was a trick that we used to use back in the day. Some of the old veteran healers might recognize this. Let me see. And again, this is called, let me actually bring it in here and we'll go down and we'll go from there. So the trick is it's called the Primeval Fate Sealer. Now, what's really cool about this is, and again, this is only 326. If you get like a 340, it's going to be pretty awesome, pretty gnarly. It's a clickable, 2-minute cooldown clickable. So instead of one of your relics that it can apply at any time, you actually control when you want to apply it. It gives you 3,000 alacrity. That means you're going to jump to, 1.2 GCD. Your skills are going to come back so much faster than what you did before, as well as being able to maintain a lot more heat. So what you can, for example, do is if we go back to our character sheet, you can probably take out, I would probably take out the power one right here, keep the mastery, and I would put the Fate Sealer just like so, and then I would put the Fate Sealer somewhere on your toolbar. And the way that this is going to work, and again, why don't we do this? So you guys can actually see this in practice. And you can use this, by the way, this is what I recommend. You can actually use this to this day. You can use this trick. And you can use it in anything apart from the last two raids, which is Duxin and the IO4, whatever the hell it's called. Those two is the only two that I would not recommend this because you are actually going to need those extra abilities that you're going to get from the power and etc. It's going to cost you in the end because the 2-minute, that's not a 2-minute fight. Okay, so you're definitely, the other ones will be way more beneficial than the alacrity one. But I'll be honest, back in the day, this was the go-to. It was super easy to use. Again, you can still do it. Sometimes I use it when I'm training people how to heal, or when I'm just like, I just want to show off, I'll pop it in there. And again, the way it works is we just got to wait another minute. When you pop it, it is going to give your alacrity another 3,000. It's going to jump to 6,000, almost 7,000 right there. You're going to see how fast you're going to be healing with it. So for that 30 seconds, you can literally stop the Death Star from being destroyed by Luke Skywalker. You know how in like the episode 4, he threw that little torpedo down the hole? You can be there and be like, not today, Jedi. For 30 seconds, I'm going to keep this damn thing alive. After that, you all die. But again, for that 30 seconds, it is freaking amazing. And it gives you a chance for your healer or your tank and DPS to get all their cooldowns back so they can survive a little bit more. Again, super easy way to use this. So again, 14 seconds, and then we'll kind of show you how that actually works here. I'll click on myself. All right, so it's available. Let's actually first try out the triage so you guys can see how the triage works. And again, why don't we do this? Why don't we just kind of put this down and kind of target this guy? Do you see how much he's healing? Yeah. So as you see, I'm just going to be healing. I'm going to be using the basic. We're going to get the gas up. And again, I have the stuff memorized, so I don't really need to watch it anymore. So here we go. So again, this is without it. So we're going to pop gas. We're going to use, and then a couple of healing scans. Okay. So that is without it, right? That is without it. So let's go up and get our stuff back, and then we'll do it again. This time we're going to use the triage, and we're going to see how the triage works. Okay. So now we're going to use a triage, and we're going to use the same abilities. All right. So do you see how fast the amount of heals, the amount of damage it does, and etc. Or actually healing it does. It definitely makes it a lot faster, better, and you see the amount of everything else that you gave with the triage for that 15 seconds. Pretty awesome, right? Now, let's get it back up again. Do you see that 6,000? Look how fast everything's going. Pretty gnarly, right? Pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly, man. Again, this used to be the play, man. This used to be definitely the play. Like, I remember doing this and laughing at how much healing it was doing. Because it was just like, man, I cannot believe I'm healing that much. It definitely was gnarly. And it's for 30 seconds. And just like that, you can save everybody. So again, those are the two tricks that I recommend that you guys do. Especially if you're a new, bounty hunter and you don't have the gear. Invest and get yourself a Primeval Fate Sealer until you get your 344 gear. It's definitely worth it, guys. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for you. Don't be that healer that doesn't cure and cleanse people. You're going to get people pissed off. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Take care, folks.